Alright. We got one big package and then one mysterious one. The package arrived at a better time this week than last week, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to rant about it. Hopefully just a light rant. Nice big tall pile thing of DVDs. We got Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc V Season 1 Volume 1. So I think this is what has been released of this. I don't think I bought anything else unless I forgot or I didn't notice that there was some sort of more complete collection, because it's a little more individual or volume-y than the other Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff has generally been. Nothing bad. High School DxD BD+BD. Kind of hard to read it. Regions A and B, dubbed like the previous seasons. I'll put that aside because I will be putting that back in. So first of all, how well do I remember who all the characters are? Maybe the main's a bit. That just says Funimation. Nothing here says DVD or Blu-ray. So are these? This says DVD 1 and DVD 2. Same artwork on both, which is different. I don't know. All of these characters with their means, why are they all cat girls? I mean, obviously that's not a cat girl. Don't know what to make of all this. Oh, that's a very interesting looking image. I can't process the rest of it due to the weird angles, but just keep going. Let's find the other half of that. I'm pretty sure there's going to be something else related. Like this. Mobile Gundam Build Fighters Try. Remember, there is no text, do or do not. Feels like there's a sticker there saying Hecha in Mexico or something like that. This one has a sticker. This one does too. Who released this? Bright Stuff did. Interesting. And don't feel the sticker on here. It's more of an interesting observation. I guess maybe Bright Stuff released the previous Build Fighter season or something. I don't remember too well. It's in the pile of stuff I need to process, but I don't remember. If I did, I probably would have remembered to process the pile. So, the DVD here, we see region 1 there. Under region A there. Looks like it's English dubbed. People. There's a lot more DVD discs. Although it feels very Sentai-like. Blues seem a little more blue on there. Maybe that's just the contrast. But the last two discs and the first discs have the same box art. Then we have Char's Counterattack on Blu-ray. Obviously I already have it on DVD, and I think there was a disc made in Mexico. Japanese with English dubbed. Guess we would expect that. Here, simple enough. We have Harmony and a Blu-ray version. This one is a Blu-ray plus DVD version, so got a little redundancy here. So I would probably just open this one. I guess we'll just open both to take a peek. I've been able to hand out old copies to friends. So first of all, this is regions A and B. Funimation release, okay. DVD feature film, Blu-ray feature film. Just a second, let's okay, they're essentially the same art. Thought they might be, but it almost felt like they were right side up and upside down. So we can see the DVD version has DVD in it. Did the Blu-ray version have that artwork on the inside? It did. I just didn't notice it. Interesting. So in this case, this is a definite diff between the DVD and Blu-ray versions. They're pretty straightforward, so there's not a whole lot to diff. Next up, we've got Rin-Ne Volume 2. Collection 2. God, this just looks so Rumiko Takahashi, doesn't it? I think even more so than the first one. First collection, I mean. Unfortunately, this plastic's decided to be annoying. So, inside we've got the two discs. Like the first one. I'm pretty sure the first one was only region A, but this one's subtitle only. Yeah, I think just like the first one. I wouldn't be surprised if this, I don't know. I guess with Sentai, it's usually 3 discs if it's DVD and 2 if it's Blu-ray. So this could be... Nope, it's 2 and 2. I guess I'm kind of curious. It looks like the same disc arts. Interesting. Last but not least, we have Fairy Tail, Volume 21. Set 21? Not finding the official terminology anywhere on there. Region A only. Were the others A and B? Audio's dubbed, of course, so it's still dubbed. I mean, this is Funimation, and I think Fairy Tail is one of their better off series considering the amount of advertising I've seen for it outside of my normal anime contexts. There we go. discs. Oh no, that's a neat artwork. Is that an artwork? Or is that a picture? I guess it's either neat artwork or a neat picture, either way. That would be everything, but I also got this mysterious thing from Right Stuff. It looks about the size of replacement discs, so I'm guessing something ended up with replacement discs. Melissa said, due to a problem in the author affecting episodes 1 and 2 was where the audio was mono rather than stereo. Cool. Not that I know this, but I don't listen to the stuff in actual stereo. TV may be stereo, but looks like replacement discs for sound Euphonium. I got mine automatically from Right Stuff. I didn't even mention anything about it to them. So if you bought yours through Right Stuff, you'll probably see the same thing happen, I'm guessing, if you haven't already. Otherwise, this week's anime DVD collection update. So, and only a single anime watch this week. I guess part of what happened, well, obviously part of it was, or a lot of it was The Walking Dead Season 6, but part of it was just a lot of distractions over the Labor Day weekend. So talking about the anime itself, when supernatural battles became commonplace, I actually really liked it. It definitely lacks some oomph or awesomeness to it, but I don't know. It just kind of feels overall refreshing about, I guess, kind of a couple of different things. First of all, it's another approach on the Chunibyo topic, but it treats it quite a bit differently, where our main character, our main guy, maybe that mutes it. Our main guy, he has Chunibyo, but he really isn't consumed by it, I guess. And if you go to the Chunibyo Love and Other, and Chunibyo and Love and All, that series, is that what it was called? I don't remember. That one's kind of about people who get lost in their Chunibyo and use it as an escape and a crutch on reality, whereas, this guy, he interacts with people knowing that, he is pretending, playing, and I think that actually makes it fine. I talked about it before, that really the only problem with Chunibyo is denial of reality, and I guess maybe another part of it is some people may, like in Chunibyo, are being Chunibyo, and they're actually sabotaging the ability to communicate by doing it, because while they are expressing realization that, oh, I don't like this person, they're doing it by pretending that they're casting magic spells at them, and it's not communicating. And I don't think that's a problem with the Chunibyo expressed in here. Like, it's a much fresher take on the concept, and then it takes an interesting turn in the first episode by I'm trying to think how to best put it, or whether to even put it at all, because it might be spoiler, I don't know. But it basically starts fresher. You have your main cast of girls. There's some control issues there where it's like, I don't know, they all like him, and throughout the course of the series I actually kind of felt like all of their liking of him actually made a lot of sense. It wasn't just some normal weak guy. I mean, he's portrayed as kind of a weak guy, but he's got a pretty good attitude about things in general, and he seems a lot more prepared just for life. He doesn't get stumbled upon. It's just that the characters around him kind of expect him to be that way, and sometimes they stumble because of it, and sometimes they're just needlessly mean to him because of their own mistakes. And I think it balances out for me, just because, like I said, I kind of felt like all of their reasons for liking him made sense. It felt like, he was kind of a cool guy, and what he did for each of them was actually pretty neat, and I could just kind of understand the harem's attractiveness to him. So I consider it a pretty well put together harem with an amusing premise and a refreshing take on Chunibyo without, trying to, I guess that's a form of entertainment I don't necessarily enjoy too much, and I think the Yugioh anime, whatever it's called, I think that one's kind of going for cringe humor, and I don't really find cringe humor funny, I guess. Which is probably also why Watamote just felt a little off for me. It's my preference. And this is not cringe humor as far as I can think. Maybe other people would have a different opinion in that regard. But, no, I thought it was, I think there's a piece of plastic on here. I'm just trying to decide if I'm about to rip plastic that didn't come off during the opening, or... Huh. Maybe I just shouldn't pick at it. So, yeah, because there's more over here. Yeah, but like I said, it does kind of lack a goal or direction, I guess, sort of thing. So it's not something that will suck you in, focus your attention on something really neat, and do it well. I mean, I can think of other series that were popular that maybe didn't do that, maybe, but then I think, well, technically, maybe they did. Like the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumi. I mean, Kyun's just really funny. He's a straight guy added to an absurd situation, and I think that's why Haruhi Suzumiya as a series tends to draw you in, is because there's all these interesting things that happen. There's, I don't know, strange, thought-provoking things that happen in that series. You know, this doesn't have it, so I think its rating is not too bad. This is probably one of those ones where it'd probably be easy for a lot of people to find this as a hidden gem. You know, it's rated a 7.3, which means it's kind of, not as many people like it, but it means it's kind of in the okay range. On the lower end of it, but it's still in the okay range. So, I don't know. But sometimes I'm just thinking about that stuff because I'm thinking about how my attitude measures up with other people, because, you know, I kind of think I'm probably a weirdo in some ways. For example, I really enjoy Tenchi in Tokyo, but I think that's really lowly rated, and I can't criticize anybody for not liking it, because the truth of the matter is they ruined the backstory for a lot of the characters. I mean, it's some of the stupidest backstories for any alternative Tenchi series there is, I guess. But I liked the villain, I liked the music, I liked the slapstick. It's a kind of slapstick that those people, whoever made it, do when they are lower on budget, because the Magical Project S was kind of along those lines, and yeah, so it's, I don't know, you know, everybody balances all that stuff differently, and they have different opinions, but I don't know, I guess maybe I just really like villains who seem like they're a very stereotypical villain until the series is like, yeah, you know, maybe they're not as stereotypical as you think, or stereotypical doesn't mean absolutely evil, and you should probably consider what made them. You know, that's kind of like what makes Akira interesting as a criticism of, you know, kind of society, because that's kind of the point of the movie is, yeah, society made these people this way, so it's kind of a reflection of society when superpowers go crazy. Whereas that isn't a theme in this one. This one's definitely harem anime that just has stuff happen. But yeah, it was refreshing for me. Okay, so yeah, anime aside, Walking Dead Season 6, that obviously took a lot of time. That's 16 episodes, and those are twice the length of anime episodes, if not 3 times, because they're anywhere from 40 to 60 minutes, so it's a lot of time. I thought it was nice. Like, I was getting a feeling this season, maybe I've gotten it in previous seasons and just forgotten it, but it kind of felt like there's too many coincidences, like, oh, yay, this is happening, oh, that shouldn't be happening in the middle of that, not this many times in a single season. I don't know. Ends, of course, on a cliffhanger where you want to see the next season, and of course, lots of people that you're like, you people don't even deserve to live in a zombie apocalypse. So, I don't know. Roller coaster there. I like how the series can get real calm and nothing can happen. Just people kind of hanging out, thinking, surviving. I think that's kind of what makes the series work, despite being a zombie apocalypse. It's a series because I guess movies can't explore that as often, but because you have a TV series with the 40-minute windows or time frame, you can get away with slowing down and kind of just living in the apocalypse. And I kind of remember the feelings of season 2. Like, season 2 is probably notable because some people have talked about how the budget was cut, but they kept the same people on, expecting them to do more for less, essentially, and a lot of them were already kind of stretching it for the first season because they were brought on as kind of a favor for the director of the first season, who was then shafted for, I don't know if a cheaper director is the right term for it, but you know, I kind of understand season 2 has that. It has cheaper effects and cheaper stuff, and I felt like it had been paced out quite a bit more. I kind of remember it feeling particularly slow, but as people have said, it does feel better after that, and I kind of feel like the slowness in season 6 is good and in contrast to what happened in season 2. It's the kind of thing where you're like, I want more of this to keep happening because I feel like this could keep happening if the right scumbags are dealt with, I guess. So it's like, it felt like the piece in season 2 was an artificial drama, whereas in season 6 it is more, it feels like an obtainable reality, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, enjoyable. Other than that, yeah, like I said, probably not a whole lot done anime watching wise because I'm trying to explore Pokemon database related stuff, and that resumed again, and this part of the project is a lot more involved because first it involves crawling and downloading all the Cerebi pages I want to get information from. It's something I've done before in the past. I think I did it just for 4th gen Pokemon and information, but now I'm doing it because I want to I want my database to be all-inclusive with the other database, with other generations' information, so that eventually I can start using it to calculate Battle Tower related information. Yeah, simple enough. And that meant that I had to download all 151 Pokemon pages for Generation 1, 251 for Generation 2, 386 for Generation 3, 496 for Generation 4, or something like that. I don't even remember how many is Generation 5. Generation 6 is 721. You know, it all adds up. I wouldn't be surprised if it was around 3,000 pages downloaded. And I downloaded their graphics in case I'm going to use those to make my presentation more interesting, I guess. But for the most part, my goal here is to get that information, those HTML pages downloaded, so then I can start processing their information. And that is an even longer, more difficult task than the other, because I could either do it by hand, which I could do if it was just a 1st gen Pokemon, no problem, but I really need an automated process. And I was exploring 1 or 2 HTML tidiers, and they weren't quite doing the trick, so I really needed to come up with my own solution so I could just have it formatted just right. So then I can start taking the table structures and saying, okay, I need to be able to relate this data to this data, this data to this data, and start working on getting it together. And then, of course, present it in something that I can process with something else. So I went with JSON, because I was going to use JQ, but then turned out I need to update my Mac to the latest version of OS X, and I've been lazily putting that off for a while, so I can't install JQ off of the Mac App Store, which means I started making my own tool in that regard, because I wasn't going for the full suite of features in JQ to process JSON and grab certain things, so I just might as well make the tool that does what I want to do, because I have a Jackson object mapper to JSONize and de-JSONize Java objects, so it's not that hard. not to make my own JQ processor, that is. The real tricky part is coming up with a tool that's set up so that it can grab all the data I want from the web page and present it in a way where I can then process it with a tool that processes JSON. And it's pretty good for some of the data. I mean, I was able to pull, for example, all the evolution data for Generation 1 Pokemon. It's not bad. Generation 2, it might actually handle that just fine as well. But I need to make sure I can gather other information, all the information I might want, so I'm still working on that. But, yeah, it's fun. Otherwise, I guess I said I was gonna rant a little bit about the Amazon delivery. So, they did deliver it before the deliver by time. The trick is, this is the first time they've actually wanted me to definitely be home for it, which basically means I come home on Tuesdays and I guess I sit here for maybe up to 3 hours hoping my package arrives. And I got phone calls on the drive home from Chipotle about it being delivered. Now, overall, it's not a big problem in and of itself. The real problem is the inconsistency, and this is probably the direction forward Amazon is going, so it's something to consider. I don't know. There's a part of me that thinks that this needs to at least be brought up because you do have alternative methods of buying anime than Amazon, and Right Stuff will send it by USPS, who will either leave it in your mailbox or with your apartment office or at the post office, so you know what they're going to do, or UPS, who, well, I guess it really depends where you are, but at least here they either leave it at the front office or at the front door. They've never left a note for me here. Amazon, they're doing a different thing every week for the past month, so I'm not sure. It's starting to sound very much like Time Warner Cable, AT&T. Oh yes, we'll be available to help service your call. Just wait between the hours of 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, the entire month of December. Yeah, very unhelpful, and I don't know. It's something to be wary of. Irritated by, but not pissed off by, you know. So, anyways, the more Pokemon processing needs to happen, but I'll try to continue watching anime. Maybe just these piles have grown again. I should tackle these piles. So, I don't know. Y'all, have a nice week.